You know, in the NFL, nothing is ever guaranteed. I mean, one minute, you're the guy, the face of the franchise, and the next, you're looking for a new team. Today, we are breaking down one of the most shocking roster moves we've seen in a long, long time.
Seriously, just when you think the NFL season has run out of surprises, bam! The Dallas Cowboys go and make a decision that sends shockwaves through the entire league.
Yep, you heard that right. With only one game left in the 2025 regular season, the Cowboys released their two-time Pro Bowl cornerback. This is a guy who, not that long ago, was seen as the absolute future of their defense. Just gone. So it just begs the question, right? How on earth does a star player, a guy with a monster contract, get cut? How do you go from all-pro to unemployed in just a couple of years? Okay, let's dive into this and really unpack the wild story of Trevon Diggs. To really get how this all fell apart, we've got to go back and look at his incredible rise. Because look, Diggs wasn't just some other guy on the roster. For a hot minute there, he was an absolute phenomenon. So he comes into the league as a second-round pick back in 2020, but his journey to the top was fast. Like, really fast. By his second season, he wasn't just good, he was a certified star. Quarterbacks had to know where he was on every single play. And it wasn't just hype either. He backed it up with a second straight trip to the Pro Bowl in 2022. And this is the number that really put him on the map. 11 interceptions in one season. That led the entire NFL, and it was a franchise record Dallas hadn't seen in almost 40 years. This wasn't just a great season. It was an all-pro, history-making kind of performance. So after hitting that absolute peak, the Cowboys did what you'd expect. They showed him the money. But this moment, this high point, was immediately followed by a devastating twist of fate. In July of 2023, the Cowboys gave Diggs a massive 5-year, $97 million extension. We're talking over $40 million guaranteed. That contract made him one of the highest-paid corners in the entire league. He was, officially, the face of their secondary. And then, just a little while after signing that life-changing deal, disaster. A torn ACL in practice. It was just a catastrophic injury, and it would completely change the course of his career. What came next was a really tough road. A grueling recovery and a real struggle to get back to that elite form. And ultimately, that period is what led the front office to make this incredibly difficult, calculated decision. And wow, the difference is just night and day. You can see the huge gap between the player he was and the player he became after that injury. He went from a full season of game-changing elite play to only playing in 8 games in 2025. That comeback season was just plagued by ongoing knee trouble and even concussions. So this wasn't really about just one thing. It was kind of the perfect storm of issues. The team was worried about his health long-term, he just wasn't consistently available to play, and frankly, with Dallas already out of the playoffs, this move is a clear signal that they're starting to reset the roster for the future. It also, to be fair, gives Diggs a head start on finding his next team. So that chapter in Dallas is officially over, but the story is far from finished. What does the future actually hold for Trevon Diggs and for the Cowboys team he's leaving behind? So here's how it works now. First, he's on the waiver wire. That gives every other team a chance to claim him and take on his current contract. If no one does, if he clears waivers, then he becomes an unrestricted free agent. And that's when the real game of musical chairs begins, because he'll be free to sign with anybody. And trust me, there will be interest. Teams like the Packers and the Bears are already being talked about as possible fits. Really, any team that needs a defensive playmaker might be willing to roll the dice on a guy who, at his best, has proven he can create turnovers like almost no one else. Trevon Diggs built his entire reputation on being a gambler. He was that guy who'd jump a route, risking a big play to get that game-changing interception. Well, now, his whole career has become the ultimate gamble. So the big question is, which team is going to bet on him, and can he prove that the reward is still worth the risk?